you set big goals. I know not only you are a creator, a thought leader, but um, triathlon, riding the 500 mile on
Yeah.
mountain biking on the Colorado Trail, going up, and your goal is to do all 58 14,000 footers in Colorado, and you're making great progress in doing that.
Yeah.
What is it that drives you to do that? And do other people need to find their goals like that as well? Can that help find create meaning and purpose in their life?
That's a good question. I guess I'm hanging on two things in your questions. There is back to the spiritual piece, and I think it flows also into this meaning and purpose and goals. Um, because of the way I view the world is that God's life is in and through all things, and therefore God's life is active, like life force, active in and through all things, and therefore in and through me and you. And so as a result, I look at, there's a guy, I love his works, Rob Bell, and he talks about how everything is spiritual is the phrase he'll use. And so everything is soaked in a basic level spirituality, or God's life is how I say it. And so for me, then I look at my life when it comes to like goals or objectives or things is like this kind of big giant experiment. And sometimes it scares the crap out of me, to be real honest. Like the last couple of days, I've had moments where I was like, man, what if I'm wrong? Not about God, but like about like my life is an experiment. My life is a white canvas, waiting to be painted and co-authored. And most days I don't live there, but I still have moments where it's like, what if? So where I look at big dreams, goals, is I just think there's such a tragedy in what I observe in so many people's lives, just real objectively scanning culturally, that it's reduced to a culture of consumption. It's reduced to a culture of drama, and that, and then there's just this kind of apathy, disillusionment, and being checked out. And this morning I was cutting a strawberry and looking at it and thinking, like, fast forward, if some of those sci-fi movies are true, and there may be a day where strawberries are not like easily accessible. And like I'll just admit, like the pandemic stuff and wildfires in Colorado and political unrest and social unrest and racial unrest, like it just has me thinking sometimes, like, man, some of that sci-fi movie stuff may not be so outlandish. And I hope it's not. I hope it is. I hope it's just story and fiction. However, when I look at the life that we actually have on the planet that we have, and for me, rooted in a life with God that I have, like a strawberry is kind of fascinating at moments. Like, wow, look at this. It really grows. Like there really are like whales with unicorn horns on them, narwhals. Like, are you
Yeah.
serious? There's really zebras and giraffes. And there's these mountains that are outside my back door. And then there's Netflix, and there's all you can eat Costco. And I'm like, I think I'm going to opt for mystery and wonder and curiosity and exploration. And I'm going to go there to go find things to inspire me to live well back here. Because I find the people inspiring very often, but I don't find culturally what's advertised as this question of where do you find life. I don't find a lot of life on TV. I watch TV and movies. I love movies, but I just don't find this like what's sent to us as if you follow these scripts, it will equal more life. I just find it pretty disheartening. And then I watch the byproducts of a lot of people's lives and compare that and say, you know what, I think there's some cool stuff that's waiting out there on a triathlon course that maybe I could discover about myself along the way. And maybe in climbing mountains, and maybe in writing a book, but they're all really challenging, and they're all like riddled full of moments of doubt. But I find that caught up in a bigger story like that, it helps me gain a better perspective on the whole of my life than just living in a little small life of comfort and predictability.